Screen. All right. So this is what I have so far. Can they hear me?
Can you guys hear Darren okay?
Probably can't hear me, but it's all right. So I got TatU. This is what my thing is. So TatU is a one-of-a-kind iPhone application for people who love via ink. It helps users review, decide, and schedule one-on-one sessions with the artist of their choice. Users can search specifics on certain tattoo styles, shops, artists, and within categories. They can also stay connected with anyone who uses the application. TatU is a one-stop shop for customers and artists alike. This is
Just maximize the screen up at the window. Yeah, there you go.
I have the logo on the right here. I don't know why it's not showing up.
Huh.
Okay.
What's not showing up?
It's like the whole thing. The little icon.
Oh, did you build it somewhere separately?
Mm-hmm.
When you designed it, did you like do it in Illustrator or something like that?
I just did it in Photoshop.
Okay, well, you want to pull it up in Photoshop, or do you have a JPEG or something like that you can show us?
Yeah. Let's keep going. All right, so categories is price range, style, size, body area, shops, and artists and reviews. So this is the first user scenario. Elise is getting her very first tattoo. She knows exactly what she wants and the exact style. She's looking for an artist who specializes in watercolor tattoos. So find a specific artist who specializes in watercolor. That's the task. So she's gonna select the style, select the type of style. There's gonna be like, because there's like 50 different styles of tattoos. So like traditional, Japanese, new school, everything. So she selects watercolor. Then there's people that posted their pictures of watercolor tattoos. There's artists that did watercolor tattoos. So she selects the picture that she likes. And then the pic pulls up and it's got artist shop specifications. Can even go down to details of like what kind of machine they used, everything. Second one is Stan is a longtime tattoo collector with about 50 tattoos. He's wanting to seek out a new artist for a different style. He has no space for tattoos anywhere else but his face. He's looking through several categories of what type of tattoo he wants to get. So browses through body area category. It's got every single body area. So it clicks on the face, and then there's pictures of people with face tattoos. And then clicks on the picture, or you can click on invite some recommendations there for every single body area. And it has the user artists, and their experience, I guess. And then scenario 3, Jim is currently an unemployed tattoo artist new to the St. Louis area. He wants to look at local shops to see where he can apply his skills. He lives in South City, he wants to find a shop close to home. So he browses through shops, and this is for people who are looking for shops close to them to have the tattoo. So just click the shops category, type in your zip code, and kind of like Google Maps thing, distance, and I'll have like A, B, C, D of the tattoo shops there, and then you click on the one that you want. And then it has all the specifications. If your shop, probably to the website. Then my wireframe, I just don't have it.
Like the final design.
Yeah.
Can you go? Just hold on a second. Oh, you're gonna try to pull up your icon. Oh, nice.
This is just. But yeah, I don't have final pictures and stuff, the interface, but I have the wireframe.
So go ahead, you guys make some. What you have any comments or questions for him?
Not really.
No. Can you pull that back up?
This thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the icon is very distinct and will read really well at a small scale. I'm not crazy about the background.
Yeah.
I feel like the foreground, the heart with the wrapping around, the band around it, it is so bold, and it's just really bold and graphic, and the background looks just a little bit muddy to me.
Mhm.
I mean, it would look really crisp if it were like a black background, but you're on the black background of the iPhone, so I don't know if you necessarily want to do that. You might experiment with like gray or just something that makes that stand off the ground, stand off the screen a little bit. But do you guys have any opinion about that?
Does anyone know what it is I can pitch this to?
Well, I think it's the kind of thing that,
I was actually talking to my friend. And he was like, yeah, it's good different do something. But it's just like, he doesn't take it. He's drawing and stuff.
well, all of these have the similarities of, the one thing that's similar about all of these is they are all built on a big database. So, you guys have planned how the interaction. The question is getting all of this content into a database.
Yeah, I wonder if like people who get tattooed and tattooers use like an app to link up, it would be a lot easier.
Mhm.
Go into a shop and like, you could even make a deposit on your phone, just make like a $40 deposit.
You could also make reservations. Make an appointment at these different shops. So, like this could be a bit. You have the seeds of a business plan right here that you could, pitch to investors or whatnot. Can you go back to your go ahead and share your sharing. Go back to your. Keep going down. So the first thing that I would suggest is under styles, I would make it alphabetical. And then, on when you're looking at contacts, maybe the A to Z kind of thing down the side to show how you could kind of browse through styles like that. Or what if these were more like filters, where instead of selecting the particular style, we can say, I want to look at watercolors and portraits. They're more like, you know what I mean? Instead of selecting one, maybe I could X a couple of them and then see it, and it would filter them out. Keep going down. These are just some different ideas. On the first user scenario, it feels like the last screen. You're missing your last screen, which is like the details about the artist. Because the ultimate place that you've ended up in your scenarios, you want to know more about this artist. So I think that the layout would be really similar to number 4, but the focus would be on that particular artist. And then maybe, here's the artist and it's like other work by this artist. And that could, if you were really interested, you could kind of get more of a sense of some of the other things that they've done. So I kind of feel like you need one more screen right there. So keep going down. Because remember your ultimate goal in your user scenario, you said, is get to the artist, and you haven't quite gotten to the artist. I think this is interesting. What are the things at the bottom mean? Did you just put them there for fun?
Yeah.
Oh. So I guess you could search for tattoos, go back home, see your favorites.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure what the last 2 things.
Those are the people that use that.
Okay.
And that's upload your tattoo. Sure.
Oh, okay. All right, keep going down to 3. The new tattoo, type in the zip code, you get to the shop. Yeah, I think ultimately you've gotten to the shop. This layout of your final page, whether we're looking at the detail, your user scenarios are interesting because you've kind of, so one of them you want to look, the final focus is the artist. One of them, the final focus is the tattoo itself. One of them, the final focus is the store. Mm-hmm. So even though they're all different at the end, there should be a consistency of layout between all 3 of those. So the way that you're using the screen should be consistent so that it, any other questions, guys? What do you think?
It's good. Solid.
I would hone in on your icon design. You know, play with a few different backgrounds, and I think that's going to set the stage for your color palette for the look and feel of your final rendered set of interfaces.
Yeah.
I just think that this background just looks kind of muddy and dated.
Yeah.
And what's in the foreground really pops and looks kind of cool and edgy.
Yeah.
So I would resolve that before you go further with, you know, doing the designs. But I think otherwise you're in good shape.
Cool.
Did you find this project to be hard? Did you guys find this project to be hard?
No, I love this part. This is one of my favorite projects.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
The second one was
Yeah.
but
Good. Well, you know, this is my student, Olivia, who works for MasterCard now as a web developer. She said that some of these projects that she did in this class and in interface design helped her get her job. Because they really show your thinking, you know? So, and then it shows your graphic ability, it shows your thinking, your planning skills. Some writing skills, I think I like this project. Okay, so who wants to go next?
I will.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so since the last time I changed mine up a lot because like you said before, I was kind of making the user go in like one direction rather than giving them choices and categories. And so I still have the original idea, but yeah, I just kind of made it a category rather than like the whole aspect. So the new categories are beach mats, traveling mats, indoor mats, outdoor mats, children's mats, sweat mats, make your own mats, and then I did a surprise me one, like, and then I also have the filters in case they want to add more or like narrow down the search. So I did price, color, material, size, textures, and sale. And so this is the first user scenario. So Jane has been doing yoga for a month now and really started to enjoy the practice. She bought a cheap mat that slides off during her practice and wants a mat that is sticky and sweat-proof for her hot yoga class. So the task is to find a yoga mat with a sticky texture and that is suitable for hot yoga classes. And so first get started and then choose one of the categories. Scroll through. So we wanted to put a filter as well as the sweat mats. And so we put the filter and pressed the sticky mats, and then here's the selection, and then the product page.
Good.
And then Jamie is about to do a trip to Southeast Asia, but his yoga mat is too big for him to carry in his backpack, so he wants to find a mat that he can fold and take wherever he pleases. So the task is to help Jamie find a travel-friendly yoga mat. And so you choose the travel mat category, and then he can scroll down, and then, yeah. And then the last scenario is Johan is new to yoga but wants to join his friends in the classes. He has no clue where to start or how to choose a mat. He wants his application to help him choose. So help Johan choose the easiest way to find a yoga mat. And so that's where I did the surprise me. I don't know if this makes sense, kind of, but I said, let us surprise you, so choose a pose. And so he chose his favorite pose, and then he got the classical hatha yoga mat, for instance. So it's just kind of like a random choose. And then, yeah, so he could go back and choose another one, or he can check out and continue shopping. And then this is the wireframe.
Oh, we lost her. Maybe she'll come right back. I don't think she meant to get cut off. Why don't we jump over to somebody else, and then we'll, if you don't mind, we'll go back to her. Kate or Laura or Nick, do you guys want to go?
Yeah, I just have my designs to show because I've shown you everything else. So I'll just do that real quick.
What's interesting to me is how much consistency there is between projects, even though we're talking about such different topics. You know what I mean? Oh, there's Am. Oh, she's back and forth. That's okay. Go ahead.
So I had done everything else up until this point, so I just have my designs now. Oh no. Now it's loading.
Hello?
Hi, Amber. We jumped over to Kate. Hold on a sec. She's just going to show her designs and we're going to go back to you.
Oh, okay. I don't know what happened. It must be my.
I know. We didn't know how long it would take.
Okay.
So Kate's got the
So,
screen right
these are my designs. You choose a degree or top rated schools, and then the one thing you told me was to make sure that the user knew where they were in the application. So I just added this bachelor's degree thing up here. So then they can filter, sort, or go back to degrees. If they filter, it's like a drop-down menu, and then you can go through each of these categories, and then you'll have your filtered results, and then your final, once you choose, it'll come up to like the school, and you can save, send, share, and then there's like some information on there. So
Kate, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
cool.
On that last screen, I would make your body copy text larger. It's just
Okay.
it's like illegible at that size.
Okay.
But what's so great about so go back to your other screens. What do you guys think about her use of color?
I think it's good. Good contrast.
Can you go back to the top? Did you I mean, you had to have been thinking about this, Kate, about how all of the navigation and the borders, just toning that down and making it more subtle so that the content could really pop. I mean, look at those crests for the schools. And do you see how they stand out so much? And it's clear, you know, those are what's getting our attention, and it's not competing with your interface elements and those borders.
Yeah, I thought it looked a lot cleaner with just like the one color.
Yeah, I mean, that's the idea, is to like not have your lines and your interface compete with the content.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick doesn't like yellow, but I mean, I think you could do the same thing and do kind of a lighter gray, but I that's just personal opinion. I think the yellow looks clean, and it's not too. It's kind of a soft yellow, so it doesn't feel like it's a school color, you know, like it's associated with any one university or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I think it works. I think it's fine.
Okay.
Are you happy with it?
Yeah, I think I really like how it turned out.
I think you were also wise to choose the white iPhone design because, you know, it's even more clean in your final display.
Yeah, I think so too.
Do you guys have any other comments for Kate? You can hear Laura. She's giving you a thumbs up.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, Kate, I can't really think of too much to say. It looks exactly like your wireframes. I mean, and I think I just want everybody to kind of notice the use of color. You know, I think it looks awesome.
Thanks.
Because when you have lots of elements in a database, whether it's colleges or tattoos or yoga mats, you want the user to focus on the content itself. So you want to tone down your background to make it understandable, but not competing against the content that's there. Okay, so let's go back to Amber.
Where did I last leave off? Because I'm not sure. I've been talking the whole time.
Start showing like your wireframes, your more polished wireframes, and then your final interface designs if you have those done.
Okay. No, I haven't finished the final ones yet, but yeah, this is all I have so far. So yeah, and this is for the user scenario 1. And I still have to like put the arrows and stuff to show what I was trying to say.
Uh-huh. Good. I'm glad that the one that you chose has some complexity to it. Like your last user scenario, the surprise me one, is kind of fun, and I don't have a problem with it. But in order to communicate all of the different screens, it's best to show like the most complicated option.
Mm-hmm.
Watch, scroll down a little bit more. Oh, can you go back?
Sorry.
Scroll down a little bit more. Watch the centering and stuff. Don't because it looks like it's a little bit off center on number 5. And
yeah,
fix that. In Illustrator, just use your align tool so that you get. And then on your Mats and Me, like your image should line up. The left side of the image should line up with the details. Just watch your alignment, and it's going to look a lot. It's going to look a lot more polished if you get your alignment working correctly.
yeah.
But I think it's good. Keep on doing what you're doing. I think it looks great.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's Laura, you want to go? Yeah. Okay.
I can't find it. Okay, found it. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hi, we're having a class in here. Nope. Oh, is there an exam going on now?
Because I have an exam.
Oh, we'll be done by then. You're welcome to hang out in here. Okay.
So I don't have everything in PDF yet, so it's not scattered.
That's okay.
To get my scanner to work, so I just took screenshots of my sketches for the wireframes.
Okay.
But, so for the first user scenario, it was Erica recently visited her farmer's market and saw them having a big sale on Lodi apples. And she's never heard of the apple, but decided to buy a bag. And basically her task is to find out the uses for the apples. So the main screen, you just have, like I decided to do as, I guess, on the main interface, the 4 things I think people would most likely come to this app to look up. And I did season, availability, recipes, and origin. So for her, you go to the recipes, and then you would search the recipes by putting in apple, and then you get the results for it down here with a picture of whatever the recipe is, and then a brief description, and then or a description of what the recipe is. And then user scenario, you would browse through the list of the sweetest apples and filter by location. And so there, I think you can see it, but I have another menu in the upper left corner, and then that would just be the basic categories of the sweet and sour scale, color, flavor, and size. So then if you pick the sweetness and sour scale, I was picturing like on the page, and move it to whether you're going to have it really sweet, really sour, in between, or you could just search the apple and then do different filters such as the location, season, color, flavor, and size. So the categories kind of act as filters as well. And then it's kind of like the other one. On the last screen, you get the picture and then the description of what the apple is. And then for the last one, that's what I did my wireframes as. It is find out the harvest time, availability of key apples in the state of Iowa. And for that, it's kind of hard to read, but these are the wireframes. So first you pick the availability, and then you filter it. And this is the option for that. So you go to state, choose the state, and then the month and the day, and then it would filter it whenever key apples are available in Iowa. And then this is my final mock-up. I wanted to put the icon, I haven't designed it yet, but the icon at the very bottom of the middle of the zone. But this is what I have set up on the home screen. And page availability for, and this is the filter page. Just another part of it, and then the final result.
Mhm.
And then that's what I have so far.
What do you guys think?
It's really good. It's
I think on the very last design, I would just like stretch out those pictures a little bit just so there's not so much white space or green space. But I think other than that, it looks really good.
I totally agree. Like, yeah, look at your left alignment point. You have the left alignment of the hamburger menu. Then results is kind of off a little bit. Then you have Iowa June 7 in a different alignment place. So I would, and then your picture is not quite aligned on the left, and then the text underneath is not quite aligned on the left. Making that, and when you get into coding this too, it's harder to make the alignment different. It's a lot easier to have everything be aligned because everything is in containers and whatnot when you start coding it.
Yeah.
So just watch that with your design. I think your wireframes look really, really good. And I think that your system for figuring out what's in season and what location is really clever.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to so go back down to these, it feels like, I think it's just the color or something. It just feels under-designed and the color is competing against the content you have on the top, I think. I'm not, I would, first of all, I would tone down that light green a lot. And then, red and green on top of each other, it's really tricky. And I can't remember why that is exactly. I know they're complementary colors, and so there's like a vibration, and it also can be kind of muddy. Like on video, you're never, like back on when there was like low res monitors, you were never supposed to do red on green. It just can kind of look sort of muddy. And I think I would play around a little bit more with like kind of a light brown, maybe like a paper bag, sort of kind of something textury.
Yeah.
That green color, it doesn't necessarily associate with nature for me because it's such an odd green. But I think something, and it's hard because you're probably subtly influenced by having looked at the Eckert site and all of that, and so that's kind of probably influencing us inadvertently. But I think if you went maybe with like a paper bag, kind of light brown paper bag, maybe even something that actually looked like paper, that felt kind of natural and reminded you of apple picking, but let things kind of stand on top of it. Do you have this in Illustrator right now, don't you? Select that green color, that light green background color, and then say go to your select menu.
Oh.
And then say same fill color and stroke color. Fill and stroke. So that's going to select everything that's the same color. Now, we can always do undo. Now take your fill color and make it kind of a real light brown, kind of maybe more browny blacky. I would go lighter, even lighter, almost white. There we go. There. So now that's looking kind of orange. You might even scan a paper bag or get a paper bag graphic to make it. Yeah,
I've done that before. Just going to like Adobe Cooler and just grabbing the color after that. So.
But actually put an image in the background, Laura.
Oh, an image. Okay.
Yeah, so it has some natural feel to it, and natural. You see some like, it doesn't look so computer generated. It looks more like. But see, I think even that color that you had before. So do undo for right now. Do Apple Z or Command Z. Even that, it makes it pop so much more.
Yeah.
Do you guys have an opinion over there?
Yeah, I like the paper bag idea. I think that would be really cool.
And I think like your red for like the writing could be like a more like maroonish maybe color.
Yeah, I think the black text on those red buttons is it's hard to read. And also think about nature, like what graphic style can you integrate to make it feel more like, you know what I mean? Those buttons, when we have buttons, they don't necessarily need to be curved and computer generated-ish. They could be more like scraps of paper, or they could be something that would allude to more of a like country farm style, which is, or just something organic.
Yeah.
What I would do if I were you is look at some organic grocery stores like Whole Foods, and look at some of the, if that's the look you want to go for, look for those for inspiration. You'll probably snag their color palettes, and I think that'll help you give this more of a like organic look and feel, because I think you've done all of the hard thinking in terms of how these are all going to work. It's just styling, alignment, some alignment issues, styling it, and playing with colors a little bit, and you're good.
And then like even the green at the top header, get rid of that too, and kind of change it.
I think so. I think it's hard to read that red text. I mean, I think Apple Academy, it's a cute name and everything, and I think your typeface is kind of fun and country-ish, and maybe that typeface should be integrated again on the buttons later on to kind of tie it together. But I think the red on that green color is difficult to read. And it feels muddy. It's not communicating like an organic kind of healthy style, Yeah. Probably, your black lines, you might want to tone them down, maybe make them like 50% black, just to kind of just soften it up and make it feel more like outdoorsy, lighter, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So just play with it a little bit.
And then for the buttons, should I just get rid of the red? Because it's kind of...
You might want to. I'm just kind of curious. Let's look at I'm going to take over screens for just a second here. So I'm just looking at a few sites. I mean, can you see Whole Foods on here that I'm showing? This has more of a clean, modern sort of a look. And what makes it look really clean and modern? The white background, the typeface, this orange and green, the green bar, the white crisp type on a really colorful picture background. I mean, that's one look to go for. That wasn't kind of the country thing that I was thinking of. But let's see. What else would be like organic grocery or something like that? I don't know if these are going to be good websites or not. I don't want to go into. Well, see, this has more of kind of a natural feel. Do you see how this background has a little bit of texture to it? And it kind of has a soft sort of feeling. The color palette is a little bit odd to me, but it definitely has like this softer feel. There are no black lines anywhere. It just has a soft feel to it. I think it's partly this background. So I would just spend some time looking at maybe the Fresh Market. Now this looks a little bit more like, but not as nice as the Whole Foods website. It looks really crisp and green, and so I mean that's your choice as a designer. Do you want to go like clean and crisp and modern, and then you might think about changing your typeface, or do you want to go kind of more like softer and organic? And so I would spend some time looking and borrow those ideas. I mean, yours is going to have its own look no matter what you do, even if you are mimicking color schemes on another website. This is not plagiarism. It's like design research. So don't be afraid to look at things. All right, Nick, are you all set? No, he was, the last critique he was working on, what was his project idea? Oh, plants, trees. Okay, here we go. He can't talk. He has no mic. Okay. So this is the icon. Do you guys have any, I mean, I think that the icon is pretty clean. I'm not sure about what the significance of the black and the white is. That's a pretty strong visual statement, you know, that black and white contrast. It kind of reminds me of a yin yang. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you're trying to associate that type of meaning with it. I know we want people to look at it and think weed. So how, when I would think of a weed, I would think like maybe you have just this beautiful row of grass along the bottom and then something coming out, some kind of scraggly leaf coming out of it. So this would read, that would read more of a weed to me than this black and white. The two choices, the black and white, I don't think we need to necessarily clue the, so he's saying that the reason why it's black and white is because you're going to have two options, but I don't think that's too subtle of a clue. And it's a user's not going to pick up on that. Like, oh, the black and white of the icon. That means you probably give me two choices. I think I want to use this app. People are going to want to use the app because it's like weed identification and they're curious about weed identification. And so they have to know what the app is about. And I think the black and white is a little bit confusing. So your method of getting to the weed, the final weed, that's fine, however you want to do it. But I think that trying to clue us in based on the design of a little icon, it's not going to happen. Okay, so you can show the rest of this stuff? When they look at the app description for that, I'm confused. Black and white is such a strong contrast. It overpowers the message that this app is about weeds. Okay, I think you are jumping the gun here. User scenarios and sketches before starting to mock up wireframes. Did you notice how all the other projects started with user scenarios? Did you guys feel like that process helped you get to the final screens? I mean, I'm not just trying to create busy work for you. I'm just trying to help you think through this, you know, without wasting a lot of time because you're just drawing this stuff out on paper. Right, right. Exactly. I think he can hear me. Okay, So, oh, good, you can hear me. So I'm not just asking you to do busy work, like Darren is sitting here, and maybe he's just agreeing with me because he's sitting next to me, but what he's saying is that, you know, doing the drawings and going through this process helped him think of how the screens should work, you know, which made it a lot easier when you're trying to mock up wireframes. And then finally, like, the part like where Laura is right now is great. I mean, she's already done all of her drawings and she's already figured out what goes where on the screen. All she's playing with now is color type alignment, you know, and some styling. So having, you know, all of these decisions, it's like narrowing things down. Right now, you're jumping right into Photoshop and trying to mock things up when you haven't figured out what goes where. Do you know what I mean? I think your process will be easier if you follow the path that I laid out for you. As Nick's typing back, I think that most of you guys are in pretty good shape. This project is not, all of this stuff is in part 2 of the project. Okay. I think I should maybe meet one-on-one with Nick because this is taking too long. How do you guys feel about the deadline of Thursday night at midnight? From what I see, I think all of you guys seem to be in really good shape. Although if somebody needs another critique, I can work it in on Thursday or so, or later, like Thursday earlier in the day or something like that. Does anybody need the critique on Thursday for this class? You might do it? Okay, I think you have done enough critiques.
I just might check with you. See if I-
Yeah, if there's anything, okay, okay. We can do the same time on Thursday, or I can do later in the day. I know, Kate, you were asking me about the other class.
Yeah, if you did like in the evening on Thursday, I could jump on.
Was that 4 o'clock time good for you?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, would that work for you, 4 o'clock on Thursday? I'll plan 4 o'clock on Thursday if anybody wants to jump on. I think almost everybody's done with their critiques now. Maybe people need one more. I'll update everything today so you can take a look. But I know that like, you're done. Pamela's done. Most of you are pretty close to being done with all of your critiques. So let's plan on Thursday at 4 o'clock. And Kate, I know you asked me about looking at your code, and I don't know what your schedule is like.
I figured it out. I kind of played around with some stuff, and I think that I figured it out. So I could just show you what I have, and I think that you'll be okay with it.
That's perfect. Why don't we plan on doing our final critique for that class? I saw Jenna yesterday, so we could do our final critique after the 4 o'clock critique for this. So I could just tell Jenna around 4:30, 4:45 on Thursday.
Okay.
Sound okay?
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, if you need me, Nick, let me know when you want to get to when you want to talk. If you want to call me right after this class, I can talk to you on the phone, and we can look at things together online if that works for you. I just need a few minutes to get to my office. Awesome. Okay. Call me. Here's my phone. All right. Bye, guys. I'll update everything as soon as I get a chance. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. See ya.